guys, I wanted to follow up with another Amazon suspension trend as we head inch closer and closer to Q4. I'm seeing a lot of inaccurate or incomplete or sloppy communication from brand owners with my former team, Solid Performance, Policy Enforcement, some other catalog teams, some other different internal teams at Amazon. And I don't know if some of it's just a tendency to have your email rewritten for you or using ChatGPT. I'm not sure what it's coming from, but lots of mistakes, lots of questions not answered. Just make sure you bring your A game into Q4 communication, especially, of course, when it comes to appeals. The last thing you want to do is confuse my former teams when you're appealing something, let's say ASIN level, or they send you a policy warning and you're countering that in your account health. Maybe you've even had contact from account health reps who say you have to catch up with unresolved notifications in your account health. I've noticed a lot of sellers not even taking that seriously or not noticing it, and not just because it's summer and people are away. I mean, generally speaking, throughout 2025. But if you hear from account health reps, especially in August or September, it's because they're trying to get you resolving these things before the heavy month hit. A lot of account suspensions happen in August, September because Amazon, for their reasons and your reasons, for the betterment of everyone, they don't want to deal with as many suspensions in Q4, right? That's why historically the beginning of Q4 is when a lot of the enforcement happens, a lot of the suspensions happen. So definitely, number one, take it seriously if they tell you there are unresolved performance notifications, but also beyond that, answer them individually, answer them collectively if you're emailing into senior management or executives to get some previous denied appeals addressed on a higher plane, because you do not want that stuff to fester and linger heading into September, October. I tend to talk to brand owners that will tell me, hey, we did try, we didn't forget, we didn't ignore these notifications. We did try to resolve them, but we got the standard copy and paste denials, didn't look into why, forgot about it. Or sometimes they call into account health reps. You know what you're going to get from account health most of the time. Oh, it's a secret. Can't tell you why it's been denied. I mean, you might have to pressure them a little bit more to get some details, but you can't just let it go just because account health reps 50, 60, 70% of the time don't have anything useful to tell you, right? You still have to keep coming back, whether it's an escalation email, maybe you submit something else to Seller Central, maybe your paid account manager in SAS Core does an internal escalation for you. But you have to communicate well in all the ways that Amazon communicates poorly. If you're communicating poorly, they're communicating poorly, you just start getting into a spin, right? You're wasting time, you're wasting energy. You probably forget about it after a while. I can't tell you how many people have ended up hiring us for stuff that we probably originally didn't need to be involved on, simply because they got sick of it or they got stuck. And they got stuck originally, in some occasions at least, because they had their VA answering and it was just a poorly worded response, or they put together some automated style AI template. Amazon noticed it was a template, didn't want to waste time on it. I mean, these tools are wonderful. In a couple of years, they'll be able to read your mind and write wonderful emails, I'm sure, or appeals maybe even. Right now, those tools are still crude and they need human eyes on them, and they need somebody acting professionally to edit the response or to insert certain facts. The idea that your AI is going to talk to Amazon's AI is still 4 or 5 years away in any meaningful way. I'm not saying it's not happening or never going to happen. The problem is, if they're going to kind of spam you with these generic canned copy and paste messages, you have to use that to your advantage by mentioning in escalations, we could have resolved this 3 appeals ago. Your guys keep sending us either nothing or useless copy and paste, or we talk to your account health reps and they just speak gibberish to us, trying to get us off the phone or reading from a script, things like that, right? Because they're not helping you appeal it unless they tell you why a previous appeal was rejected. They don't read account annotations to you. Of course, they don't do that. That's for Amazon internal. But they have to give you something. Otherwise, how can you revise an appeal? And if they're not giving you anything, then you base an escalation on that. But there's a right way to do it. You don't write one escalation and then send it to Jeff at Amazon, and to send it to Andy Jassy, and to send it to all these people without modifying it, without customizing it. No, that's poor communication. And you're only hurting yourself if you do it. You look lazy, you look disorganized, you look disinterested. So if you look disinterested, why would Amazon pay attention to it? Of course not. They're going to take every advantage or opportunity they can to ignore you if you're giving them a free pass, which is what you're doing if you spam them with copy and paste of your own. If you're customizing content and sending it to the right place, sending it to the right person who actually has a reason to be looking at it, and you've justified and presented escalation reasons why somebody senior should be looking at it, and then they drop the ball, that's on them. That's not on you. You've done your best to communicate with them, and they dropped the ball. You did the best you could, and you came back with factual information. You told them how their appeal reviews have failed you in the past without being angry, aggressive. You're being proactively aggressive in terms of factual and requesting that you get a higher level response and a higher level review, which is something that you are actually entitled to as long as you communicate with them professionally. So if that is something you're already doing, maybe you could up your game. If you need me to look at something and tell you I would tweak this or that, or before sending this to so-and-so, I'd maybe think about A, B, and C. Happy to take a look at it for you. You don't have much margin for error anymore. Sales margins are already thinner. You don't have the luxury of losing 3 or 4 weeks of sales because you appealed it 3 or 4 extra times because you communicated poorly on the first 1 or 2 or 3 appeals. I don't know many brands that can afford to lose that revenue anymore. And also it hurts your account health. The longer these unresolved notifications hang out in your account health, it just hurts your account rating score. And if it doesn't today, it might in the future. So why risk it? Start off on the right foot. And if you have questions on any of the material I've covered today, let us know at e-commerce Chris. Thanks for listening.